Like and subscribe right now, or this spider will crawl on your face when you're sleeping. Every once in a while, archaeologists make remarkable discoveries. Sometimes the finding is so surprising that they are unable to explain what it is they've found, how it came into existence, or ascertain its value. Puzzling ancient finds have a way of captivating the public, perhaps because it's just too easy to dream up interesting explanations for how and why things exist. Today, we are looking at some of the most mysterious, unexplained artifact discoveries by humans. Let's begin. The Nasca lines. Peru is filled with mysteries, but this one has surprised scientists the most over the years. If you ever fly over the high desert of southern Peru in a plane, you will witness the landscape change as lines take shape to form simple geometric designs like trapezoids, straight lines, rectangles, triangles, and swirls. Some of the swirls and zigzags start to form more distinct shapes, like a hummingbird, a spider, a monkey. These are the renowned Nasca lines, which is the subject of great mystery for over 80 years. How were they formed? What purpose could they have served? And were aliens involved? No one knows the answer to these questions. In total, there are over 800 straight lines, 300 geometric figures, and 70 animal and plant designs, also called biomorphs. Some of the straight lines run up to 30 miles, while the biomorphs range from 50 to 1,200 feet in length. For context, that is as large as the Empire State Building. The Giant's Causeway. The Giant's Causeway is an area of about 40,000 interlocking basalt columns. Causeway Coast is a spectacular area of global geological importance on the seacoast in Northern Ireland. 60 million years ago, a huge volcanic eruption spewed out a mass of molten basalt, which then solidified and contracted as it cooled, creating the cracks that can be seen today. There are an estimated 37,000 polygon columns at this World Heritage Site, so geometrically perfect that local legend has it that they were created by a giant. The dramatic site has inspired legends of giants striding over the sea to Scotland. Many scientists don't believe in giants, so they are not sure how these things came into being. Geological studies of these formations over the last 300 years have greatly contributed to the development of the earth sciences. The Piri-Reis Map. Late in 1929, Gustav Deismann, a German theologian, was working in Istanbul at the Topkapi Palace Library. While cataloging antique items, he found a gazelle skin parchment in a stack of discarded items. This parchment had a map drawn on it, and Deismann was amazed to see that it appeared to show the outline of South America. The map he studied had been drawn and signed in 1513 by Turkish cartographer Haji Ahmed Muhiddin Piri, also known as Piri-Reis. In addition to being a cartographer, Piri-Reis served in the Turkish Navy, for which he held the rank of admiral. The map appears to show Antarctica almost 300 years before it was discovered. Not only does it show Antarctica, but the continent is drawn as a landmass as it would have appeared before it was covered with its ice cap over 6,000 years ago. Geologists studied the Piri-Reis map and found several things that they could not explain. Not only was there the issue of Antarctica without its ice cap, but they noticed that the map was drawn using Mercator projection, a methodology not used by European cartographers until the late 16th century. The jury is still out on the question of whether the Piri-Reis map shows Antarctica or not. If you consider the idea that this portion of the map is Antarctica without its ice cap, then you must believe that an ancient civilization that had advanced navigational skills existed and produced accurate maps of the globe. The Giza Pyramids. Here is one, or in fact 3, artifacts that you probably know about. Built to endure an eternity, the pyramids have done just that. The monumental tombs are relics of Egypt's Old Kingdom era, and were constructed some 4,500 years ago. It is believed that Egypt's pharaohs were expected to become gods in the afterlife. To prepare for the next world, they erected temples to the gods and massive pyramid tombs for themselves, which were filled with all the things each ruler would need to guide and sustain himself in the next world. The first pyramid was built in 2550 BC. His Great Pyramid is the largest in Giza and is around 481 feet tall. Its estimated 2.3 million stone blocks each weigh an average of 2.5 to 15 tons. Tomb art includes depictions of ancient farmers working their fields and tending livestock, fishing and fowling, carpentry, costumes, religious rituals, and burial practices. Inscriptions and texts also allow research into Egyptian grammar and language. It is still not known how and why the ancient people made the pyramids. From where did they get the technology to build something so huge and magnificent? We don't know, so if you do, let us know. The Sacsayhuaman Walls. Up next, we have a weird wall whose name is really hard to pronounce. Sacsayhuaman is one of the most stunning Inca ruins, located on the northern outskirts of the old city of Cusco, Peru, which is also the former capital of the Inca Empire. Built like a fortress, the complex covers a huge area, but they constitute perhaps only a quarter of the original complex, which could easily house more than 10,000 men. What remains today are the massive outer walls, constructed in a zigzag formation on 3 levels. Like many Inca constructions, the walls are made of massive, irregularly shaped boulders that fit together like a jigsaw puzzle without the aid of mortar. The stones are so closely spaced that even a piece of paper cannot be inserted between many of the stones. How crazy is that? The longest of the 3 walls is about 400 meters and stands 6 meters tall, and a single boulder is estimated to weigh between 120 to 200 tons. The Sacsayhuaman walls precede the Incas themselves, believed to have been built by the Quilchi culture that occupied the region between 900 and 1200 AD. The more important question isn't who built them, but why they were built. New investigation suggests that it could have been a temple devoted to the worship of the sun, but we may never know the actual reason why they were built. If you do, let us know in the comments. The Antikythera mechanism. In 1900, an amazing encrusted bronze object was found on the small island of Antikythera. One of the curious scientists decided to clean it and found that it was a complex instrument with cogwheels fitting one into the other. Finely graduated circles and inscriptions marked on the instrument in ancient Greek were apparently related to its function. Based on the cargo, it was dated to about the 1st century BC. It seemed to be a sort of astronomical clock without a pendulum, but no Greek or Roman writer has ever described such an ancient computer, though many other wonders of antiquity are mentioned. Researchers have long debated where the device was built and by whom. The enigmatic Antikythera mechanism is still full of secrets. The archaeologists believe that there must be some predecessors to this fine instrument, but none have been found. The biggest question that emerged out of this discovery is, how did the Greeks manage to build this complex mechanism without any technology at their disposal? Or was there technology that we don't know of? There are many such questions, but no answers. Baghdad batteries. A small, undecorated artifact with rather a plain appearance is believed by some scientists to be an example of a primitive electrical power source. Known as the Parthian battery, or the so-called Baghdad battery, the artifact is thought to be 2,000 years old. That is crazy, because electricity was invented just a few hundred years ago. These batteries were first found in 1936 by railroad workers in the area of Tel Kujut Rabu, south of Baghdad. Most sources date the batteries to around 200 BC, but the first known electric battery, the voltaic pile, was not invented by Italian physicist Alessandro Volta until 1799. The bottoms of these mysterious cylinders were capped with copper discs and sealed with bitumen or asphalt. Another insulating layer of bitumen sealed the tops of the pots and held in place iron rods suspended into the center of the copper cylinders. The rods showed strong evidence of having been corroded by an acid solution that evaporated long ago. And with that, it's now time for today's subscriber pick. Today's photo was sent to us by a subscriber. If you come across a photo online and want to know more details about it, just send it over to us. We might even feature it on a future video. This is a photoshopped picture, as we couldn't find anything related to it on the internet, but we get the idea behind it. The image is probably referring to the mysterious discoveries made on a huge scale, like the Ghazi pyramids and the Nasca lines, as we have talked about earlier. We don't know the motives behind the making of these huge artifacts and who made them. Maybe it was aliens, or people back in the days who had some technology we are yet to discover. Whatever it was, these discoveries sure are fascinating. Nan Madol. Aside from Easter Island, Nan Madol is the main archaeological site in Oceania that is made up of huge rocks, but while Easter Island gets 50,000 visitors a year, Nan Madol sees fewer than 1,000. Abandoned centuries ago, and now mostly covered with jungle, this mysterious ancient city is built on a reef just off the shore of Pohnpei Island. The buildings of this city do not have their foundations in the ground, but rather are built on top of man-made platforms of stone and coral. Given its beauty, the numerous waterways between islets, and its sheltered position in a lagoon, Nan Madol is nicknamed the Venice of the Pacific. Archaeologists sometimes refer to it as the mythical Atlantis. And this is where the mystery has its beginnings. The structures on this island are built using colossal stones that look as though giants must have laid them. The place has many legends, dating back centuries, including dragons and sorcerers. Which of these artifacts did you find the most interesting? Let us know in the comments. And if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel.